Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Fellow YouTuber, welcome once again to the greatest waste of cyberspace in a hard drive since the initial release of Windows Vista. Yes, indeed, this is GainerWorld Live. My name is Tim Gainer. Thank you so much for joining me. As we do every Friday night, what we're going to do is we're going to waste a bunch of bandwidth for about an hour. Actually, what we do is, if you're new to the show, and indeed, how could you be? You've been missing some of the greatest entertainment in the history of cyberspace, quite frankly. But this is a show where we kind of get together and just talk amongst ourselves for about an hour. Yeah, I know it's not exactly an original concept, but hey, it's the best I can do given it a pinch. So anyway, what we do is we talk about stuff that's going on in the world, and we let our hair down and we talk amongst ourselves right about here. If you see right there, this is the chat. Now, if you're watching live and you're used to straightening your neck all the way over here so you can watch the chat, see, you don't have to do that anymore. We think about you. We think about you, the cyber viewer. That's right, fellow YouTuber. We think about you, and that's why we bring the chat right about here. And in fact, people have popped in to say hi already. Melissa Long has popped in. Melissa, how are you, hon? Always good to see you again. Matthew Houtsma popping in to say, howdy hi there, friends and neighbors. Chapello Monte Slim. That's right. Old Uncle Pecos, he's back on the trail apparently. And little sister Judy used to be in the CO, now in the FLA. Why? I don't know, a lot of gypsy going on. Simon popped in saying, wow, I'm on time for once. Yeah, drugs wore off early, I see. Anyway, it has been, and you can pop in too. If this is your first time watching the show, by all means, please feel free to join us. We just talk amongst ourselves and we insult each other and we say hi to each other and we have a lot of fun and we talk and we laugh and we just burn up cyber bandwidth for a little while. That's pretty much what we're into right about here. For example, we're going to start off right here. Before we get into the heavy stuff, I want to share something with you that I got this morning. I got on Wednesday. I get this completely unsolicited text message. Now, like I said, I completely unsolicited. Had no idea it was coming. It came on Wednesday morning, and the text, pardon me. Pardon me. Suddenly swallowed a Buick. This text message says, and I quote, "Hi, I'm Daisy. Is this the trainer from the best gym in La Crescenta? Or L.A. Crescenta? I'm thinking La Crescenta." And, of course, along with it comes this picture. Okay? Now, anybody, and I do mean anybody, that has any knowledge of phones whatsoever. Greetings, Robin Newman popped in. Robin, always good to see you, sir. Appreciate you stopping by. Anybody who has any knowledge of cell phones knows the difference with area codes. Okay? And something tells me, for whatever reason, that Daisy here is not from around town. Simon is saying, bro, I had an email from an Emma telling me that her boyfriend is out of town and can I come and see her if I sign up to her account? Yeah. Well, you know what, Simon? You're already ahead of me, my man. Because y'all know what I'm going to do. There is a number. This is a text message on my phone. My phone. So what do you think we should do in a situation like this? Hit the button, and away we go.
I'll complete your call. Please try again.
Simon said, give her my number. No, see, when you call, here's what happens. When you call, here's what happens.
Did not complete your call. Please try again.
Here's a tip to you young scam artists out there. If you're going to use a telephone to scam people, make sure, and Melissa even saying, because it's a scam. Yes, dear, I know it is a scam. You're absolutely right about that. But those are my favorite kind of people, especially when I'm live on the air. I'm sure you know why. Because we could kill the entire hour just messing with them. But as I said, here's a tip to you young scam artists out there. From one of us infidels here in the Great Satan. When you're trying to scam somebody, make sure, and especially if you're doing it with a text message, okay, or a DM or something, make sure it's going to be on a phone number that's going to be in operation for more than 35 minutes. People get busy, okay? And if you really want to steal their money that bad, you're going to have to be kind of patient because people, if they're at work, they're with their families, they're out, So, yeah, Daisy. I'm sorry, babe. We could have been something. We could have really had But no. No, you decided to use a number that doesn't work for more than a half hour at a time. You dummy! VD? Huh? Not sure what you're talking about, Jude. Not sure what you're talking about. I know what we're going to be talking about, though, because it has been a heck of a week, hasn't it? So, yeah, let's do this. Also, Noreen Henry popping in. Hello, Noreen. Always good to see you. Yeah. There's only one thing to do in a situation like this. Let's get right into it. Let's check the Deadpool, y'all. Come on, let's do it. I know nobody saw this one coming. Although, I will not say that her life was not without controversy, but let's face it, musically, this woman was a force to be reckoned with. You can say whatever you want about her as a person, but in all sincerity, she was just an amazing singer. Of course, I'm talking about Irish singer and activist Sinead O'Connor, this coming in from the BBC. She's gone at the age of 56. This just happened on Wednesday. Her family announced the news with great sadness, saying that, and this is a quote, her family and friends are devastated. The cause has not been made public yet. But, according to Rolling Stone, London authorities have ruled that her death is not being treated as suspicious. There is going to be an autopsy. But then again, and that means we're just not going to find out the cause of death for a couple of weeks. But as of this time, there has been no cause of death mentioned. What do you say about this girl? You know, I mean, the amazing array of music. She's just an incredible singer. 10 albums between 1987 and 2014. Of course, we all remember her big hit, Nothing Compares to You. That was written by Prince from her second album, I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got. There was another great track on that album that nobody ever mentions, and it was the follow-up. It was the follow-up single to Nothing Compares to You, and it was a great track called The Emperor's New Clothes, which I thought was just fantastic. I thought that whole album was great, to be really honest with you. She was very outspoken in her social views, very outspoken in her political views, obviously. I make jokes about her all the time. But, I mean, at the height of her popularity, especially in 1991, she was named Artist of the Year by Rolling Stone. She took home the Brit Award for International Female Solo Artist. She brought home an MTV Award for Best Female Artist. But we all remember, like I said, it wasn't that she wasn't full of mischief, shall we say? Because after she got all those accolades, then she started talking about how she was so sick of the music industry. Then again, who can forget that night in 1992, Saturday Night Live, she did an a cappella performance of Bob Marley's War. She looked at the camera, grabbed a picture of the Pope, tore it up, and said, "Fight the real enemy." She was subsequently banned from Saturday Night Live. But even Cyrus Gray, who's popped in to say, funny how true it was. Yeah, at the time, it was a protest against child sexual abuse in the Catholic Church. Was Sinead a visionary? Yes, I think she was. People asked her in 2021, what she thought about that. And she said, quote, "I'm not sorry I did it. It was brilliant." She had attempted suicide at one point in her life. And I will admit, now I openly admit this. That I made fun of her as well. Okay? Especially after 1999, she was ordained as the first ever priestess of the Latin Tridentine Church, which was a dissident Catholic group in her native Ireland. Okay? And then in 2007, she became a Rastafarian, hinted she was a lesbian. And then in 2018, she changes her name to Shuhada Salaquat, but continued to perform as Sinead O'Connor. So basically, it was Sinead O'Connor, lesbian Muslim priest, who passed away a couple of days ago. Okay. I mean, and again, even Judy brings it up. She's suffering from bipolar disease. She had a son who committed suicide. And you're right. In January 2022, her 17-year-old son, Shane, was found dead. He had been reported missing. And she canceled the rest of her live performance as a result of it. And in one of her final tweets, she called him the love of my life, the lamp of my soul. We were one soul in two halves. So yeah. In fact, it said, and this is getting near the end. Apparently, she was doing okay again because just 2 weeks before, she had announced that she was going to be recording a new album. She was going to be recording a new album. The album was going to be called No Veteran Dies Alone. And it was going to be her first since her last album, which was 2014. An album called I'm Not Bossy, I'm the Boss. So, yeah. And also, in this... Now, again... And we're all saying that, yes, she had a very, very, how shall we say, turbulent life. But she said in an interview in 2021 that she had given her children very specific instructions. This is according to the London Express. She had given her children very specific instructions in the event of her death. She was promoting her memoir, Rememberings, which is supposed to be out later this year, I understand. But she told People magazine that she told her children that before they call any emergency services, to call her accountant. She said, see, when the artists are dead, they're much more valuable than when they're alive. Tupac has released way more albums since he died than he ever did alive, so it's kind of gross what record companies do. That's why I've instructed my children since they were very small. If your mother drops dead tomorrow, before you call 911, call my accountant and make sure the record companies don't start releasing my records and not telling you where the money is. Now, isn't that a lovely sentiment for the children? Oh, man. She is survived by her 3 children, Jake, 34, Roizen, 27, and Yeshua Bonadio, I beg your pardon, 16. Yeah. So, yeah, and like I said, it's not like she didn't have a turbulent life. You just really hope that she found peace. Sinead O'Connor, gone at the age of 56. Very sad day. If that's not enough for you, if that wasn't enough, and again, I know nobody saw this coming. And no, Cyrus, I do not want Sinead's haircut. I had that in the Army. Thank you very much. Never again. If this isn't enough for you, then yesterday we found out Randy Meisner, bass player and founding member of the Eagles, passed away at the age of 77. The Eagles confirmed it. They confirmed his death in a statement on their website, stating he died from complications from COPD. The band wrote, and this is a quote from Rolling Stone. Well, thank you. Although I don't think that's the Rolling Stone theme. The Eagles are sad to report that founding member, bassist, and vocalist Randy Meisner passed away last night in Los Angeles. Randy was an integral part of the Eagles and instrumental in the early success of the band. His vocal range was astonishing. Oh boy, what are you kidding me? Can you hit that high note and take it to the limit? Yeah, no, you can't. But Randy Meisner could, and he did. That is Randy Meisner's voice. You hear that high falsetto at the end of Take It to the Limit. Meisner was known as the shy and humble ego. And it was so beloved, his falsetto was so beloved, according to Rolling Stone, it would later inspire Fred Armisen in the Blue Jean Committee, his 70s parody rock band with Bill Hader from documentary Now. Okay. But yeah, no, it is true. He also worked with Poco for a little while. Worked with the Flying Burrito Brothers. Yeah. Meisner wrote, he recalled once when he wrote Take It to the Limit that, and this is a quote again from Rolling Stone, I was feeling kind of lonely, started singing all alone at the end of the evening. The bright lights began to fade, and it just kind of went from there. So, yeah, another sad loss. Another really sad loss that I'm sure none of us saw coming. That is for doggone sure. Randy Meisner, bass player, former member of the Eagles, former member of Poco, all around high singing guy. Gone at the age of 77. That's all we need. That's the Deadpool report for this week, gang. Let's check the tote board, because everybody's weighing in on all kinds of things. Cyrus just went off. You wanted her haircut. Yeah, no. Don't think so, buddy. Don't think so. Drugs. What a wonderful way to bring out all the voices in your head. Yeah, well, even if you don't have any, you can. It's fun to create them. 4750 possible income. Looking for bullets. And Melissa says, I love Fred Armisen. Fred loves you. Don't you forget that. I'm sure you two will be very happy. There's a match made in heaven. Yeah, no. So we've got a bunch of updates this week. It was kind of a slow news week, actually. But we do have a bunch of updates. One of them being about, of course, our favorite Material Girl who was recovering, Madonna. She gave an update on her ongoing recovery since being hospitalized, according to page 6. She showed up right here yesterday in her Instagram video, and she's slowly dancing again. Simon is asking straight off, how is Simon? How is she not in the Deadpool yet? She's like 200. No, dude, she's only 62. Okay. You know, but I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, you know, she's gone through a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that's in dog years, according to my Cyrus. Okay. Anyway, no, she's 64. I beg your pardon, according to page 6. Apparently, she's slowly dancing again. For all you fans that are trying very hard to get to see her, she's to be able to move my body and dance just a little bit makes me feel like the luckiest star in the world. And she showed her, you know, a little bit of her, you know, dancing to Lucky Star. Yeah. And she also said, thank you to all my friends and fans. You're my lucky stars too. So yeah. But then on the other side of the coin, Man, y'all knocking match tonight. Let me see. Cyrus is saying that's in dog years. That's a 7-to-1 ratio. Yeah, I know. Melissa's laughing. Simon is saying, damn, plastics did not do her justice. Yeah, she keeps saying that that was right after the surgery, so her face was still swollen. But really, if you look between that one and this recent one, and this was just from yesterday, yeah, you tell me. Okay. But also, there's also a... now, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and this was rumored... This is pretty much rumor that was happening at the time. Even little sister said, she's on my bingo card. Wow, okay. Okay, everybody's moving Madonna up on the Deadpool list. Got it. All right. Stay tuned. Well, we've got room now that Tony Bennett's gone. I'm just saying. Radar is reporting something that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. And that is that now there's nobody that has been confirming this. Just Radar Online is saying this, but they're saying that old Madge here, that the Material Girl herself has been quietly downsizing the tour venues as she recovers. She's now being forced to downsize the venues of her tour because of weak ticket sales. I don't know if that... I can't see that to be true. I can't see that to be true. People are going to want to see this because, look, let's face it. The 40th anniversary of Lucky Star was just a couple of weeks ago. It was just last week. This week, as a matter of fact. So, yeah. I'm thinking that... I'm thinking that... I don't know. We'll see what happens, but as of right now, she's supposed to be playing the United Center in October. That obviously has been pushed back. But if it suddenly goes from like the United Center to like the Uptown Theater in Chicago, yeah, I can see where that could be a problem. Let's check the tote board before we get into our next story because everybody's kind of going nuts. Melissa's laughing at Judy. Don't worry, Melissa. We all do that. Look at the pictures. I think that might be still looking for her from the last job with the Third Reich. It's all coming back to me. She's not going to pull him in like Taylor Swift. Yeah, no. I don't see the Swifties on board with this tour. You know what thinking does to you? Yes, it makes my head hurt. I think that's a whopper lie. If Mick Jagger can pull him in at 81, if he can still sell out Soldier Field, Madonna can sell out the United Center. And this is just in Chicago, mind you. Pardon me. Also this week we have an update on Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx, yeah. According to WXIA in Atlanta, living alive in Atlanta. Jamie is alive and well, and he has taken to releasing a video as of Wednesday afternoon for the first time since he was hospitalized with a medical emergency while he was filming on set, filming a movie near Atlanta. I took to Instagram, first off, with a post that featured writing on a black background that just read, "Appreciate all the love, feeling blessed." Then yesterday, he released this video.
I know a lot of people were waiting, or wanting to hear updates, but to be honest with you, I just didn't want you to see me like that, man. I want you to see me laughing, having a good time, partying, cracking a joke, doing a movie, television show. I didn't want you to see me with tubes running out of me and trying to figure out if I was gonna make it through. I went to hell and back, and my road to recovery had some potholes as well. But I'm coming back, and I'm able to work. So I want to thank the people that let me work, and I just want to say that I love everybody, and I love all of the love that I got.
So there you heard it there from the horse's mouth himself. He dispelled all the claims that he'd been paralyzed or blinded. At one point, he said he was just fine while he crossed his eyes. He also thanked his family, specifically his sister and his daughter, for saving his life, and he credited his family with protecting his privacy during his health scare. So, yeah, Jamie is looking pretty good there. Although, and I find this kind of hilarious, I've read a couple of stories where people, and you knew this was going to happen, but people were actually saying that video is not actually Jamie. They're saying that the video is actually AI. And they're talking about how he's paralyzed, how he's had a stroke, how he's, Even Cyrus is saying, why do I feel as though I'm watching a video release for Rain Man 2? I don't know. No, he's looking pretty good. You gotta give him props. He is looking pretty good. The eyes, says Judy. The eyes. Did you see the video where he's rolling his eyes? Yes. So, yeah. So, Jamie's looking good. And Jamie is alive. And Jamie's probably going to be getting back to work. AI is getting pretty damn scary. No, it's not. Stop it. It's not AI. It's Jamie. It really is Jamie. I swear. Definitely good. Definitely. We've also got an update this week on we've been following this very closely about the 2 Hollywood strikes. Speaking of Hollywood and Jamie Foxx and all that. According to Variety, who is keeping us abreast of this whole situation, as you know, the Writers Guild of America and SAG-AFTRA, the Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, are both on strike at the same time. And as of this morning, there are no plans to restart negotiations with either of them. So right now, Hollywood is shut down for the foreseeable future. I don't see any new shows premiering in September, yo. Not going to happen. The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, meanwhile, has said that the unions have been unwilling to drop items that are non-starters, like a demand for a share of streaming services and a minimum staffing level for TV writers. So in other words, what you've got right now is a double stalemate. Everybody is waiting for somebody to give in, is what it amounts to. Mike Schur, a member of the WGA negotiating committee, says, quote, according to Variety, we do have a plan. The plan is for them to call us on the phone and ask us to sit down. We're not calling them, end quote. Yeah. We're on a break, according to one source with SAG-AFTRA. And Duncan Crabtree, Ireland, there's a name for you. Duncan Crabtree, Ireland, chief negotiator for SAG-AFTRA, they've said repeatedly that he's willing to return to negotiations whenever people are ready, whenever the unions are ready to go. He says the studios have not reached out to him since the talks broke off. The last engagement they had at that point was on July the 12th, when they said to us they don't think they'd be ready to talk for quite some time. Ouch. And apparently Cyrus is trying to call me out as a scab because he's just said that GainerWorld has been canceled because of the actors' strike. Nah, babe, I gave up my union card a while ago. So yeah, the two sides, like for example, with SAG-AFTRA, the two sides are stalemated over a proposal to give actors 2% of streaming revenue, which is nothing. That's nothing. And the union has said that that's a non-starter. So yeah. So SAG-AFTRA wants to share the streamers' revenue, but it's the production companies, according to Variety, not the streamers, who would be on the hook to pay it. Poor babies. When you spend $50 million for a TV show and it brings back $100 million in profit, yeah, no, you need to share the wealth. Okay? So, yeah, so again, it's one of those situations where it's going to be a while. It is going to be a while before we see anything coming out of Hollywood. And we talked about this, and we kind of opined on this in past shows, especially right before this happened. And we said that this is going to mess up Hollywood. This is going to mess up your TV schedule. This is going to mess up the movies. This is going to mess up the Emmys. This is going to mess up the Oscars. Because you've got nobody to campaign now. Nobody can do anything at all. So, where do you go from here? Cyrus is just kind of going off. Simon's saying, when is Disney going down? They're ruining the classics. It's Disney, dude. They have more money than God. They don't care. And Cyrus is just kind of like blowing it out. Like, for example, GainerWorld has been canceled. Sorry for the inconvenience due to the actors' strike. Nope. Non-union here, babe. As you can see in here, the writers are already not working. You can, hey! Fear not. I bought an aged copy of The Far Side. We can make that happen without any writers. I liked The Far Side. I thought Gary Larson was really good. And Little Sister says 10% of $15.95 a month times 1 billion streaming subscriptions. That's a lot to fight for. It's a lot to fight for, but when you consider the fact that the rights for the actors, and the writers for that matter, have not been negotiated for some 35 to 40 years. And again, with this whole thing with streaming and AI, there's been a lot of progress made in technology within television, music, movies. And the actors are really they're getting stiffed. The streaming services, they're not getting anything off, Where's the residuals from Hulu? Where's the residuals from Amazon Plus? From Amazon Live, rather. Or Disney Plus. So... But yet those companies are pulling in 7, 8, 9-figure profits every year. You tell me. Simon is saying, is Snow White... It's not Snow Black and a bunch of normal-sized people. Come on, Simon. Inclusion, babe. It's all about inclusion. Beetle Bailey. Dagwood is just too AI for me, but Barney Rubble, what an actor. Oh, talk about taking artistic freedoms. That Barney, I tell you. And Little Sister says, I support the strike completely. That's just what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. And like I said, this is having far-reaching effects. Not just in Hollywood, But this is also affected none other than the D.O. Double Grizzle, Snoop Dogg. Now, work with me here on this one. Work with me here for just a second. According to Variety, and I've got a feeling he's not going to be the only one to do this. According to Variety, Snoop has announced the cancellation of his upcoming performances at the Hollywood Bowl, citing uncertainty amidst the ongoing Writers Guild and SAG-AFTRA strikes. The concerts were set to commemorate the 30th anniversary of his debut solo album, Doggy Style, back in '93, produced by the legendary Dr. Dre. It was originally postponed from June to October due to the writer's strike. Now they've officially canceled it. And Snoop is affirming his solidarity with the workers. Pardon me. He took to Instagram to announce the update, writing, and this is a quote again from Variety, "We regret to inform you that due to the ongoing strike and the uncertainty to when this will be over, we need to cancel the Hollywood Bowl show. For one, SAG-AFTRA wants a share of the streamers' revenue, but it's the production companies, not the streamers, who would be on the hook to pay it. So what's important is how to get a solution." Yeah. So Snoop went on to say, "We continue to stand in solidarity with all our brothers and sisters in the WGA and SAG-AFTRA during this difficult time and remain hopeful that the union will come back to the negotiating table, that the studios will come back to the negotiating table with a real proposal that we can all get back to work." Now, it should be pointed out here that the writer's strike and the actor's strike does not prohibit people in the music industry to work. But many people are standing in solidarity with these unions. Snoop obviously being one of them. In fact, he's been vocal for months about his solidarity. He criticized the system that leaves artists receiving unfair pay when their work is as popular as it is on the streaming services. The writers are striking. This is Snoop's words. "The writers are striking because of streaming. They can't get paid, but because it's on the platform, it's not like it's in the box office." So yeah, he has said this. He's talked about streaming services. In fact, this is a quote again from Snoop. "I don't understand how the F you get paid for that. Somebody explain this to me. How can you get 1 billion streams and not get $1 million? That's the main gripe of a lot of us artists, that we do major numbers, but it doesn't add up in the money. Where is the money?" So yeah, Snoop is in solidarity with the writers, and he does make a legitimate claim about the streaming services, for which I have talked about, many an artist has talked about, Cyrus is talking about right now. Sounds familiar. That's where, yeah. So, Cyrus is also saying, "I hear that Betty Rubble has signed on to do a centerfold shoot for Penthouse." I'd buy that. Especially if she does a special shoot with Marge Simpson. Now you're talking. A little sister saying, "I wonder if Broadway is going to close as well." That's a separate union, but, eventually, it may come to that. Because a lot of people are standing up for the writers. A lot of people are standing up for the actors. It's equity, right. But that's a powerful alliance of pressure. Well, I think that's part of the reason why SAG-AFTRA went out right after the Writers Guild did. Okay, you can't write. Okay, we won't act if we can't write. Vice versa. So yeah, and all the gripes are the same. I don't know what it's like in Broadway. I don't know what it's like in theater. I've been disconnected with that for 40 years, so I have no idea. But it can't possibly be the same, can it? I don't know. Chicago Boy 61 popped in. How you doing, man? Good to see you. It's going to be like COVID. It's going to take just as long to come back. No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I really sincerely don't think so. Only in that it's Hollywood. And all they need is a good blockbuster or just, a great run of TV shows to bring everybody back. The problem is going to be right now the lack of new product because of the timing of this strike. There's nothing new out there. Nothing. Unless, what's the union in the UK that's letting them work? That's working on the Two Towers for, I believe it's Netflix or HBO Plus. But even then, they're standing by to see if SAG-AFTRA comes along and goes, shut down. We need your help. Shut down. And they'll do it. They will do it. Cyrus is saying, coming back, this crap is worse than starting over. I don't know. I don't think it is starting over. It's kind of like it's kind of like, how can I say this? As corny as this is going to sound, it's kind of like WWE. The storylines just keep progressing. And they progress, and then there's some storylines that have progressed over the course of 10, 12, 15 years. So all you need is a continuation of a good storyline in any good TV show or any good movie. You're going to draw the crowds back. I really think so. You'll draw the crowds back. It's not starting over. And it's not even starting a new chapter. It's knowing how to continue that chapter. That's where I'm going for with that. So, yeah. It's interesting to see what's going to happen. Speaking of canceling things. See, this is all segueing together this week. If you're a fan of country music, you know about the Chicks, formerly known as the Dixie Chicks, who had the hit song Earl Must Die. Or Goodbye Earl, or whatever the hell it was. But yeah, yesterday had a little bit of a scare. Apparently, in the hours leading up to the Chicks headlining concert at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, the group just postponed the show, straight out, citing illness. According to the social media for the Chicks, the band stated they were working on rescheduling the show and advising Nashville fans to keep their tickets for a newly scheduled date. They didn't clarify who had fallen ill or whether or not the illness would impact their next show that's going to be going on tomorrow night in Knoxville. But the statement did read, quote, according to Variety, "The Chicks are looking forward to seeing their Nashville fans soon and apologize for any inconveniences this may cause." So, yeah, last night's show was supposed to have the Wild Rivers as an opening act, and it was going to be their first show in Nashville since 2016. But they did perform at Bonnaroo last year. So there you go. And Ben Harper. Yes, the Ben Harper is going to be performing on some of the dates with the Chicks. So yeah, that's going on. Got that happening. I'm wondering what little sister's talking about, like Barbie. Okay. Not sure what you're talking about there. Apparently she's sick of Barbie. Gotta run, got this thing I gotta set up. Peace. Got it. P.S. Okay. Yes, indeed, you're absolutely right about that. Cyrus is going to run out because he has to get things going. And what he has to get going, by the way, which I have not mentioned, is this week's Top 10 Countdown from Hugs 24/7 Radio. As soon as you're done here, do me a favor. Head over to another website. Hugs at WRGG.com. HUGSATWRGG.com. Great radio station specifically tailored to the unsigned independent artist. And some amazing artists that are on there. And Hugs actually has a top 200 list of the top 200 songs from unsigned artists from around the world. And Cyrus, starting at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Pacific, will be counting down the top 10 of that illustrious list. And I have it on good authority that he has a special guest coming up tonight. So you'll want to check that out. The Top 10 Countdown with Cyrus Gray, Hugs 24/7 Radio, Hugs at WRGG.com, HUGSATWRGG.com. You will appreciate it. So there's that going on. So, this gives me a chance to do something that I haven't had a chance to do in a little while. And I think this is going to be a great way to kill off the week. Because, let's face it, this week has been weird. And it's something that we haven't had a chance to do in quite some time. It's something we haven't had a chance to do in quite some time. It's time for a session of What's Your Sign? Let's get into it, y'all! Everywhere a sign. So, a lot of people sending in their silly little signs. Like this one, for example. Let's say you're running down the street. You want to stop by, an old coffee house, an old cafe, an old roadside cafe. And you come across the Magnolia Cafe. The Magnolia Cafe. And you say to yourself, I want to check this out. And you read the sign, sorry, we're open. There's somebody who doesn't like their job. I'm just saying. There's a lot of them that have come in are from the South. From the South and in the West, preferably around Texas. This one, for example. Attention, idiots. There's only 3 reasons why to unholster your loaded firearm. Oh, God. Please do not unholster a loaded weapon in our store. You want to talk about people. You want to talk about people that are compensating? Yeah, that's my definition of people that believe in open carry. Then there's this fine homeowner that I guess wants to avoid the legal hassle when he says, please do not enter the dangerous area beyond this gate. You quite possibly will get hurt, and then you will sue, and then a protracted court battle will ensue, exhausting your financial resources, and you will lose because this sign that will be worn will be Exhibit 1. Yeah, I'm not sure how much, not sure how much more clear you can make it for that. Listen, you're going to sue? I got the sign. Don't even bother. Then there's the creative types that ask the prophetic question, is there life after death? Trespass here and find out. Now, I raised 4 sons. I openly admit it. Yes, I did. And they survived. So I'm not sure about this one. But if I can paraphrase Chris Rock, I'm not saying you should do it, but I understand. Guns don't kill people. Dads with pretty daughters kill people. I got a feeling Becky is not dating in high school. Just saying. And then you love guys like this. You gotta love guys like this. You know, you want to talk about truth in advertising. You want to talk about, you got house sales, you got garage sales, you got estate sales, you got going to jail sales. Yeah. I guess you're not going to use it if you're going to be, you know, getting put in the hoos cow. A couple more here. I love this one. Yeah, I need money for your books. Hey, there you go. I like this one. We do not serve women at this bar. You must bring your own. Unless you're in Vegas. Unless you're in Tahoe. Okay, one more. Guy walks into a bar. And asks, is the beer cold? Our beer is colder than your ex's heart. That, my friends, is truth in advertising. That's what you're signed for this week. Sign, everywhere a sign. And that's going to wrap it up from here. Time for this gainer to get up and go. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Tell your friends about this show. We are on the drive for 500 subscribers. We're over 100. I'm feeling good about that. But hey, let's start moving up. I think it's about time that we do that. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. I appreciate you stopping by. Like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. You know what to do. In other words, if you like it, hey, you know what to do. We're out of here. We'll see you next week. Bye.